talk about the filter present on the Gen R-8. Like everything else on this synthesizer, the filter has its own sort of interesting characteristic that is eminently usable and I think ultimately recognizable, which I always think is a good thing for a synthesizer, like to have a filter type or character that you can recognize and go, oh, that's that thing. So this one definitely does. It's a 12 decibel per octave filter, and it has a variety of settings, and it sounds really unique when it's doing all of them. Okay, so we're going to start off with a low pass. I just have a single sawtooth going in the oscillators so that it's just a really basic starting point, and we don't have any cool oscillator thing going on that might make us think that the filter is doing something it's not. Okay, so we have a filter cutoff knob right here. It doesn't have a huge spread over the length of the knob, but that could be a calibration. But it definitely has this sort of raw, buzzy character that is typical of 12 decibel per octave filters, but there is a certain saturation in there that is unique, I think. Let me, here, that's as low as we can go. That's very interesting. Okay, let's get resonance a quarter of the way up. Halfway up. Three-quarters of the way. Well, let me find, instead of three-quarters, let's find where there isn't self-oscillation happening. That is very serious. And then, of course, we have self-oscillation. This is probably going to be too loud. I'll turn it down a bit. And fully all the way up. More of the resonance self-oscillation. That is a crazy and interesting sound. Turn the volume back up. Okay, that's our low pass. We also have a high pass. Very interesting. Here's the resonance a quarter of the way up. And halfway up. And just below self-oscillation. That's very interesting. And of course, self-oscillation. Yeah, that is very interesting. Filter cutoff. There seems to be like a spot at the bottom. Anyway, so that is the high pass. Now, when you press both of them at once, you have a bandpass filter. Let's listen to that. Oops. A quarter of the way up on the resonance. Halfway up on the resonance. Just under self-oscillation on the resonance. And self-oscillation on the resonance, which is weird because a lot of times bandpass filters don't have self-oscillation. Let me turn that down a little bit. Very, very unique filter sound. Okay, also, if you have both lights off, you have a sort of notch filter. Which is a more subtle but really interesting effect. I like it. Okay, resonance quarter of the way up. Resonance halfway up. Resonance at the bottom of self-oscillation. I don't know if I've ever heard self-oscillation on a notch filter before. That's very different. And then, of course, self-oscillation. Wow, there's just such weird stuff going on in there. I love it. Okay, so, and don't forget that this filter also has envelope depth controlled directly within the filter. So let's set an envelope that would do something. All right. That is reminiscent of another filter I'm not even going to name. But that is great. And that's on the low pass. That is really interesting. A totally interesting sound. Let's hear the high pass. Cool. Let's hear the bandpass. That is really just a really juicy, fuzzy, frothy sound. I love it. And of course, it'll be fun to hear this notch filter. Weird. those are some really interesting filter sounds. Absolutely unique, raw, interesting, grainy. Yeah. All right. I don't have any adjectives. The low pass filter without really any resonance has such an early 70s, like, what's the word? Just an early 70s analog sound. It's not easy to find. It's there's a rawness to it. There's a fuzzy rawness to it. I guess there's a fatness to it that you wouldn't necessarily hear on a more refined sort of. It just has a great analog sound. Anyhow, that is the filter. Oh, wait, before I say that. Of course, you have the ability to modulate the filter with the LFO, which we'll talk about when we get to the LFO. But you also have inputs. So if you have some external source that you would like to modulate the filter with, you have inputs with which to do it. So it's kind of a modular arrangement. All right, so that is the filter present on the Stylophone Gen R-8.